Hello everybody, I'm Electrolama and I stream on Twitch. I have several animated RCT emotes, and in this video I'll show you how to make them. So for this emote, I'll be creating one where I have a large train of guests walking across the emote and a sign that says raid. To create the emote, I like to take screenshots on every frame, and to do that I use a hotkey called advance to next tick. Find that here. There's also one for creating screenshots. So I'm going to play until I have enough guests to fill up this part. And you see I have RI. So I'll take a screenshot and then I'll advance to the next tick. And repeatedly take screenshots. To edit the screenshots and create the emote, I use the photo editing program GIMP. This program allows you to import a bunch of screenshots as frames for a GIF. So the first step is to open as layers and select all of the screenshots that you make. So each screenshot will be a different layer, and you can edit them individually or as a group. Once all the frames have imported, the first step we'll do is to crop the emote. So rectangular select, fixed aspect ratio 1:1. From here you can define the area that the emote will take up. So I want to mostly include the raid sign, and I want to leave a little bit of space around it for the guests. Alright, and then image, crop to selection. This will actually crop all of the layers, which is handy. From here you have this list of layers. If you click on the eye, you can turn the visibility on and off. If you hold shift and click on it, you can see one layer at a time. Note that even though this layer is showing, we actually have this invisible layer as the ones that's selected. So if you want to edit a layer, you have to click it as visible, but also click on the layer. That's pretty important. I make that mistake a lot. Now I want this emote to be only the guests, the path, and the sign. I want the background grass to actually be invisible. So what we use is select by color, and we can actually just select by the hue. This will select all of the grass because all grass uses the same hue. And notice it also selects some of the shirts that happen to be the grass hue. So you can use rectangular select. We want to subtract from the current selection. Turn off aspect ratio again. So we can select all of the extra t-shirts that we don't want to delete. You can see on this selection editor, this matches what we want. Press delete. And that makes the background transparent. So we'll do that with each layer. Use select by color. Everything's already, all the settings are right. Just select stuff we don't want to delete. Press delete. Just do this one by one. Now we have a bunch of pretty much finished frames for our GIF. Notice the first frame and the last frame have the same display on the sign. So we'll actually delete this first one. And from here we can create the GIF. So we'll export as, and you simply just put GIF at the end. You can create a different name. Call it raid emote.gif. This brings up this export as GIF window. So the ones that we want it to loop forever as animation. Disposal or unspecified, so this is each time you have a new frame, you want to replace the old frame. One frame per layer. And you want to use it for all frames. Use the same delay for all frames. You can basically speed up or slow down your emote I think 100 milliseconds ends up being pretty realistic, similar to the game. Export. And here's the end result after exporting. You'll see that the sign loops pretty well because we started and ended with the same lettering. And the transition for the guests walking is actually not very obvious unless you pay attention to a single guest and notice that there's one frame where all of the guests' shirts change colors. But I think it's good as is. For the faster speeds, like I mentioned, I also created versions of those. So this one I actually like a little better because it has guests walking faster. If you want them extra fast, I also made one of those too. The actual emote will be a lot smaller than this, so make sure that you have the thing that you want to be the focus of the emote, you want that to be as large as possible. So that's why I limited the size of the emote to about the size of this raid sign. As you might already know, you can navigate to Viewer Rewards, Emotes, and then you can upload your new animated emote. You'll see I already have this one here of a guest jumping. I used a looping trick and cut out all of the other things around the guest to make this work. Yeah, you upload new animated emote, you see that you have a limit as to how many animated ones you can upload, but only one of them can be active at a time. I have this other one, which is a handyman sweeping. I think came out pretty good. Yeah, just upload new animated emote. Upload a GIF. Has to be less than 1 megabyte. And I think there are also limitations on the number of frames. After importing, you see there's a large, medium, and small version of each of these. The smallest one will be about what it looks like when you put it in chat. Unfortunately, you can't read the word raid, but you can still see that it's a bunch of guests walking on a path. I hope you found this useful. If you use this to create any emotes, let me know. I'd be interested in seeing what you guys make. Thanks for watching.